3 News Now this week.
Well, Omaha police say they are doing extra mask enforcement checks on bars. Another type of business received almost as many calls. And the health department says they've told some of these businesses they do not have to require customers to wear masks. 3 News Now anchor and investigator Courtney Johns dives into the call log and finds out why some big name gas stations aren't turning away customers without a mask.
You don't have to do it while driving or if you're filling up your tank. But if you need to pay inside, you need to wear a mask. Gas stations make up more than a quarter of Omaha's mask mandate compliance checks. That translates to nearly 200 calls, with a large portion involving Quick Trip and Buc-ee's. According to OPD's call log, during one check, a manager at Buc-ee's told officers corporate informed him not to turn away customers for not wearing a mask. We reached out to their regional manager, who told us employees are instructed to politely offer a free mask to customers not wearing one. The reason? They say they're worried about their employees.
You don't want to try to instigate a confrontation because you don't know how that person's going to react. You don't know necessarily what the outcome could be. And we don't want that person to place themselves in danger trying to take their own action or trying to intercede.
Several people across the country have been attacked after asking someone to wear a mask.
People can be unpredictable, especially if they're emotional and they're angry and it's a pretty hot button issue. And we just don't want them to put themselves in harm's way.
On top of that, many gas stations have few employees during any given shift. A manager at one Quick Trip location told police their corporate office spoke to the Douglas County Health Department, and they were, quote, advised not to tell customers.
What they can do is just go ahead and call us and talk that through, call the police department and do that way.
Andy Wessel supervises Douglas County's COVID-19 information line. He says gas stations deal with a variety of people, many of whom may not live in Omaha and aren't aware of the rules. And the news may not go over that well.
We don't want, a store clerk getting into a situation where they're putting their life at risk, policing the ordinance.
Fortunately, Douglas County Health Department officials say people are in and out of gas stations pretty quick compared to going to a restaurant or a theater. Wessel says in a perfect world, everyone would just wear a mask, but that's not the world we live in.
We may be getting to the point where we're not as concerned as we should be, but if we get COVID, what we need to remember is that we're putting other people at risk.
Now, we also reached out to Quick Trip for an on-camera interview, but they declined. They did provide a statement which says, in part, all of our City of Omaha big stores have big red posters in frames and decals that are placed at eye level at all entry points to inform our customers of the Omaha mandate for wearing facial coverings. Now you can take a look at all the businesses OPD has been called to on our website, 3newsnow.com.
A social media post caught our eye recently. A woman wanting to find a nurse named Nicole at Nebraska Medicine who was there for her as her husband was dying from COVID. Thanks to social media, she found her. And I got to talk to both of them about the bond they share and the importance of human connection during life's toughest times.
As she spoke, her eyes never wavering from me, I felt calm. My breathing slowed, my crying ceased, and I could center, take it all in.
Beth McGrath reads the blog she wrote about the woman she hoped to find who held her gaze.
And finally turned back with strength to Jim and our final hours together ahead.
The title of Beth's blog, her name is Nicole. One of the only details Beth knew about the young nurse with her face covered at Nebraska Medicine, who cared for her husband as he died from COVID-19. Beth and her husband, Jim McGrath, were both impactful Ralston teachers for decades. He coached, too.
He was a super big presence, so his absence is enormous for our family, for so many people that loved him and knew him.
On November 16th, Beth anticipated that impending loss. It began to consume her.
On the verge of complete panic meltdown, going through, should we have put him on a respirator? Should we have, vented? Should we have done these things?
As those feelings flooded over Beth, Nicole layered up in PPE to be there, to look Beth in the eye.
She doesn't know how many times I have already revisited the moments together when I have felt the panic rising.
After, Beth blogged because she wanted Nebraska Medicine to know about the care she received. Nicole Godwin saw the blog.
Thank you, and I love you. You will have a special place in my heart for the rest of my life.
They both sat down to talk to us over Zoom.
Thank you. You will as well.
Nicole remembers watching Jim laughing with his family earlier that day.
To put somebody at ease when they're like and surround them by their loved ones, that's just so beautiful sometimes. And there is some beauty in death, honestly.
And she says during these trying times, she too dearly holds on to the heartfelt conversation with Beth.
I think like I needed to hear that as much as she needed to put it out there. So I definitely think we might have needed each other in that moment.
Today, I am thankful for all the incredible doctors, techs, respiratory therapists, and nurses at Nebraska Medical Center that cared for Jim, especially his nurse on November 16. Her name is Nicole.
Nicole tells me she's learned from her coworkers and knows so many other healthcare workers are providing that type of care and connection for patients and families all the time. We have Beth's entire letter posted on 3newsnow.com.
Hospital systems all across the state continue celebrating their very first vaccinations.
Yes!
The most recent being Methodist, who began the vaccination process Wednesday.
I'm ready to get back to life as it was. We're fatigued here in the hospital, and we just want this to be over.
As of Wednesday morning, 13 hospitals have started vaccinating, and a little over 1,700 frontline workers have gotten the vaccine. But that number is set to slow down.
We have been told we are not going to get Pfizer allocation next week, so that will be pushed off to the last week of December.
The state was expected to receive 19,000 Pfizer vaccines next week. Now the state will receive 0. This delay bumps down the 104 total vaccines we were expecting to have by the end of the year to just a little over 80,000. We reached out to Pfizer to see what caused this delay, and they denied the problem, saying it's not on their end. Quote, Pfizer has not had any production issues with our COVID-19 vaccine, and no shipments containing the vaccine are on hold or delayed.
I'm not exactly sure what the supply chain problem was, but it's okay. We're going to adapt and we'll work through it.
The hope is that the Moderna vaccine is approved by the FDA Thursday and will begin shipment this week, still providing some vaccines for Nebraskans next week.
We're very excited about the Moderna product because we have so much rural space in Nebraska and it's an easier product to work with.
The Moderna vaccine is easier to store and doesn't have to be kept so cold. If the FDA makes the approval, 32,000 Moderna vaccines will be allocated to Nebraska next week. This will stretch to 112 hospitals and health departments, really focusing more on rural areas. But there could be delays with that too. Plans have to stay fluid.
Anytime there's a distribution of a new product, you have to expect some sort of delay. This isn't just the nation, this is the world. Everyone wants this product.
And everyone will get it eventually. First, frontline workers, then long-term care residents and staff, all the way down to the general public, who should have access to the vaccine by April. Reporting in Omaha, Rudolph Sinaida, 3 News Now.
Well, as the pandemic continues to hit us hard, 3 News Now is bringing you stories on how we can rebound from the effects.
The hustle and bustle of holiday shopping is in full swing. However, a large number of people are planning on spending less this year due to economic impacts from the pandemic. 3 News Now reporter Kent Lutzen has more on Empire Liquidations, a shop that could help you save money and snag the perfect Christmas gift.
We're very unique. There's no other store like this in Omaha, no other store like this in Nebraska. We're the first.
Empire Liquidations, a new retail discount store, just opened up and it's already making a splash in the community. Brothers Colton and Chris Carlson are co-owners and say they are already expanding.
So you never know what you're going to find. Each week we get 20 to 30,000 unique products in the store, and it's kind of like a scavenger hunt, looking for the best deals.
Here's how it works. They buy overstock from some of the world's top retailers. It's shipped to Omaha and then placed into this warehouse at a much lower cost.
This is perfect for the everyday shopper, and if you're looking for some, main Christmas presents. For example, the first week we had 6 HP monitors. We've had some, bunch of Lego sets, big Barbie doll houses.
The goal here is to have no expectations other than snagging a deal, and it is perfect for holiday shopping, especially if you're looking for some stocking stuffers. We have some vitamins, we have a DVD, and we even have a phone case. And keep in mind, it is a great deal because everything is $5 or less depending on the day that you come. Empire Liquidations is closed on Fridays. This is the day they get their newest shipment of products. Everything is $5 on Saturdays and Sundays. On Mondays, it's $3. Tuesdays, $2. Wednesdays, $1. And on Thursdays, everything is 50 cents. They say weekends are the best days to snag these deals and save some money.
Saturday, we open up at 9 a.m. We have people lining up as early as like 4 a.m. sometimes.
In Omaha, Kent Lutzen, 3 News Now.
Now, to help deal with long lines, Empire Liquidation hands out line numbers so that shoppers can go back to their car, stay warm until they open their doors. For more information, you can find Empire Liquidations on Facebook. You can find all of our rebound stories, plus employment resources and tips for managing stress and anxiety on our website, 3newsnow.com, under the Rebound Heartland tab. If you have a story idea for us, we'd love to hear about it. You can email it to rebound@3newsnow.com.